Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the San Francisco 49ers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Out of his end zone comes Andy Isabella. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd. It gives them a lot of confidence.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On second down, Eckler. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return, and the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing now is Lance. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
And the return will stop right around the 25.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Draw play, it's Eckler.
And he's going to have this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Niners 17.
Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And complete right side to Cook. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on third down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Herbert, quick pass out wide. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Eckler, touchdown, Chargers.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
Stop, 17, 560.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Rolling to his left.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
A quick throw complete out to Isabella.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing on 2nd down. Herbert. That ball complete to Isabella. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Herbert. And that's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. To the air again, Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Josh Palmer, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Chargers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 14-0.
Chargers 14, 49ers nothing.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
1-7 their record here at the midway point of the season, and right now this organization, more than likely, if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves, but with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So is the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here we go.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Ready?
Here's Lance to throw it.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now, as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
At the 33-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
49ers.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
That's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up.
And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down, as the tackle made at about the 38. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
This one caught by Isabella. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Eckler now between the tackles.
Fred Warner, first-time All-Pro in 2020, in on the stop defensively.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 39, Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Up the middle with Eckler. Down to about the 22 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Andy Isabella, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Chargers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
On 2nd and 7, Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Lance and Kittle in sync for the 49er first.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Lance now on 1st down.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Charger TD.
I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick-6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
Justin Hopkins, the kickoff for the Chargers.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
Their catch at the end of the 25-yard line. The Niners take over 1st down 10 at their own
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Austin Johnson gets the sack defensively.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Second and 9.
It's Eckler again. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Hopkins' kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fair catch, gain of the 25-yard line. The Niners take over 1st down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
And Lance going to throw.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the 2nd quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
Their catch made at the 25-yard line. The Niners take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half end.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
On the give, this is Eckler. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
And Lance now to throw.
Steps away to his left. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Excellent work there by Lance as he scrambles for the first down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Ready.
On first down, Lance.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yard.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Once more, here's Eckler. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Lance. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And the return will stop right around. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. On 1st and 10 is Spiller. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It was Eric Armstead coming up quickly and dropping him for a loss.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Right back to Spiller on 2nd down. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? He brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Again, they run it with Spiller. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. The handoff, it's Eckler. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. third down, it's Spiller.
And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness, just about got him into the end zone.
They'll run here with Spiller.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers.
Isaiah Spiller, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now a play fake. Lance.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And now they'll throw with Lance.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
From midfield, here's Lance.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They keep it on the ground with Spiller.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
They'll try and run for it with Spiller.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
At their own 13-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
23 yards, the final tally.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time, and you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Again on the ground, again it's Spiller. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Lance now on 1st down. He's got Ayuk once again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Giving back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Lance. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time.
That my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we not to ride nobody with, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni again hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit.